The day the sun stopped in the sky. What would you do if, for an entire day, the sun simply didn't move? This isn't fiction, it's written in the Bible. And today, I'm going to show you 3 mysteries about that day that science, even to this day, hasn't been able to fully explain. The first, how a man managed to command the sun to stop and be obeyed. The second, why other ancient civilizations, on the other side of the world, recorded the same phenomenon at the same time. And the third is the most disturbing of all, and I'm only going to reveal it at the end of this video. If you make it there, leave a comment with the word "stopped." I want to know how many of you make it to the end. Let's begin. We're around 1400 BC. Joshua, successor of Moses, leads the people of Israel in the conquest of the Promised Land. A city called Gibeon had made a peace pact with Israel, and that didn't sit well. 5 Amorite kings united in a coalition just to destroy that alliance, and Joshua, keeping his word, marched all night with his army to rescue the Gibeonites. This isn't a legend lost in time, it's an account recorded with rich detail, names of kings, cities, real geography. And this is where the story becomes impossible to ignore. The battle was won. God had already sent a hailstorm down on the enemies, stones from the sky that killed more soldiers than the swords of Israel did. But there was a problem. The day was ending. And if night fell, the survivors would escape into the darkness and regroup to attack again. That's when Joshua did something no general had ever done before. Standing before the entire army, he raised his voice, not to his soldiers, but directly to the sky. "Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon." And the text says, the sun stopped, the moon stopped, for almost an entire day. But that raises a question we'll answer in just a moment. If the Earth had actually stopped spinning, what would happen to everything? Here's the second mystery, and it's the one that intrigues historians the most. Records from other ancient cultures, completely isolated from Israel, with no contact between them, mention, within the same window of time, a day longer than normal. Texts associated with Egypt and China contain accounts of a period when the sun seemed not to move as usual. Coincidence? Maybe. These records are debated, and many historians question their direct connection to the biblical account. It's important to say that honestly. But why would such similar stories arise, independently, in such distant places? And this is where science comes in. Because, technically, it isn't the sun that moves, it's the Earth that spins. So, if the sun stopped, what would actually have to happen is the Earth stopping its rotation. And if that happened out of nowhere, inertia alone would cause a catastrophe. Winds of thousands of miles per hour, oceans sweeping across continents. Except that's not in the account. There's no mention of destruction, just of a longer day. This has led researchers to propose alternative theories: a gradual slowdown of Earth's rotation, or a rare atmospheric phenomenon that distorted the sun's apparent position in the sky. No theory is definitive, and that's exactly why this mystery, for science, even more than 3,000 years later, still hasn't been solved. And here's the third mystery, the one I promised at the beginning. And before I tell you, I need to be honest with you. I believe in the Bible. And to me, this isn't a legend. It isn't poetic exaggeration. It isn't a pretty metaphor. This happened. God did it. Because there's a sentence, written right after the account, that almost no one stops to read carefully. There has never been a day like it before or since, when the Lord listened to a man. Stop and think. In the entire Bible, across thousands of years of history, this was classified as the only day like it. It didn't happen before. It didn't happen again. That means one thing. It wasn't about the sun. It was about the relationship between that man and God in that specific moment. The miracle wasn't repeatable because it wasn't about physics. It was about a request born of faith at the exact moment it was needed. Is it scientifically possible? I don't know. Nobody knows for sure. But for God, everything is possible, because He is the creator of everything. The laws of physics were made by Him, and whoever made the rules can, whenever he wants, decide what to do with them. Which is, what would happen if you asked, with the same conviction as Joshua, for something that seems impossible? Joshua's story isn't just about a strange phenomenon in the sky more than 3,000 years ago. It's about the courage to ask for what seems crazy to ask for, and about a God who, according to the account, decided to answer. If you made it this far, comment "stopped" down below. I want to know how many of you made it to the end. And tell me, which of these 3 mysteries surprised you the most? If this video made you think differently about this story, drop a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe to the channel, because every week I bring you a new biblical mystery with this same depth. See you in the next video.